Balcone's first ever year-round bourbon was an inspiration. It all had to work together. A blend of carefully selected ingredients, Texas-sized pot stills, and creative people determined to find the absolute best way to usher a new whiskey along. When you discover how it pairs with a meaningful moment, suddenly the feeling of drinking great whiskey becomes a whole lot more.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode. We're back. It's been a rough month, guys. It's been a rough month. I was just telling Brandon off air, I've been in Dallas in the past 6 weeks. Dallas, Kentucky, Austin, Dallas again. I mean, it literally has been a stream of things. And we're now building up to the Whiskey Social, which is happening in 1 week and 1 day from this episode air date, which is this Friday. Today, we're here. I mean, the Whiskey Social's back, the 6th annual. It's been a year and a half. We took a break because of COVID. The whole world took a break. And I couldn't be more excited to see the event make a return, to feature more than 350. I haven't got the final pour list yet, but it's going to be between 350 to 400 different pours. We're expecting 1,500 to 2,000 people. It's just going to be amazing. So, check it out, HoustonWhiskeySocial.com. Google the Whiskey Social in Houston. It comes up. Get your tickets. We're going to be having things. Most events are from 7 to 9, 2 hours. Our GA starts at 6. Our VIP starts at 5, 4 hours. The Pappy tickets start at 4. I mean, we are giving you every opportunity. You walk into a bar. You hand the bartender $100, you tell him to get out of your way, and you get to try anything behind the bar. It is an open bar of more than 400 different offerings to try, to learn, to educate. We talk about it a bunch in this episode. And speaking of which, this week I'm joined by Todd Grube, show favorite, and a good friend and new business partner, Dominic. I've known Dominic for a couple years. He's incredibly kind. He's awesome to work with. He wears plaid too much, but we don't really talk about it this episode. I'm not really a plaid guy, people who know me. So let's pay the bills, and then we'll get to the show. Folks, one of the best imported whiskey portfolios in the country is with Glass Rev Imports. GlassRev.com, Amroot, Waterford, Blackadder, Murray McDavid, Bimber, and so many top-rated unique whiskeys. My friends over at Glass Rev, Raj, Jane, and Bill, are the original 3 Dram Hunters. They're inviting you to become a Dram Hunter. Go to GlassRev.com, click on the top bar, and mention that you heard about their program from this show, Whiskey Neat with Chris Hart, and they will set aside a special release just for you. That's GlassRev.com, GlassRev.com, and become a Dram Hunter today. You guys see it right here. Waterford, they were. It's been a while since we've talked about them. They just released their Gaia 2.0, and of course, this pretty colorful baby here, the QV. QV, I'll get more information on this. We'll talk about it more. We had a little bit at the end of the episode. The single Irish whiskey, Irish single malt. It's an elevated experience, all single farm, grain to glass, yeasty, biscuity. If you love Scotch, if you love those light, grain-forward barley notes of bread, baked bread, and my mom used to actually do that quite a bit growing up. The one thing my mom wouldn't burn or ruin was a loaf of homemade bread. And when I taste Waterford, it reminds me of a yeasty, biscuity dinner roll, Golden Corral biscuit meant for a side of mashed potatoes and a protein, like just that classic Americana, but from Ireland. So check it out. You can find Waterford all over the state of Texas. Total Wine. Waterford is everywhere. And of course, go to glassrev.com. Check them out. Without further ado, please welcome this week's guests, Todd Grube, Dominic Sung, and we talk about the Whiskey Social happening on November 6th, HoustonWhiskeySocial.com. Cheers. For those who aren't familiar with the new face on the show today, Dominic, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Everyone knows Todd.
What's up?
We are, and I don't think we've had I know we've made some references to it. We've done some Zoom times, whatever. But for those who don't know, Dominic and Todd are my business partners for what's happening next weekend. The Houston Whiskey Social, the new name, the Whiskey Social, trademarked, is back for the 6th event. It's happening next Saturday, November 6th. It's back. We were nervous about it.
Yeah.
We didn't think with the lockdowns and everything that it would. I know you were real nervous about it.
It was.
But we pushed it back to the fall. We knew we'd be safe. We've actually got a couple of people that have emailed us what are you guys gonna do? What's the COVID protocols? It's a whiskey event. Even if we had masks, the whole thing. So we are taking over more of the property, and we're all vaccinated. We're not requiring the guests to be vaccinated. We're not checking their vaccine cards or any of that sort. But if you do feel uncomfortable, we totally understand. Feel free to stay home. But the event is happening.
And there'll be more space. Things are spread out. Bathrooms outside.
Oh, yeah. I actually...
Some outdoor space.
Remind me when we leave today. I've got some cards printed up with an actual map of the place. So for the first time, it shows where the other bathrooms are.
Awesome.
3 sets of bathrooms. We normally operate out of 1.
Are you surprised Chris knows the bathroom map? This guy pees every 10 minutes.
I peed twice before we started filming. Speaking of which, let's have a drink. We'll get started. I actually wanted to bring you guys. Our cognac's finally here.
Oh, nice.
I've been in Dallas the last 2 days. Let me finish this.
Which one is this?
This is a 21-year-old Grand Champagne. You can only get it
Awesome.
at the distillery. It's not going into distribution. I'm going to throw these gotas into my...
Can I get a slate from you real quick? We'll just cut this out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just cut the slate out, but
Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know you could do it both ways. As long as you slate at some point, you can...
At some point at the beginning, it helps chat. It's not a big deal. Before we get started, can I tell you a quick...
Yeah.
Can I tell you a quick story about vaccine cards?
Yeah.
So, I'll just say my friend got hired to check vaccine cards at a pool party. They did not require her to be vaccinated. The person who literally is interacting with every person there and checking to make sure they're vaccinated, she did not have to show proof of being vaccinated.
We went to the Discus conference, the Distilled Spirits Council conference in Austin a couple weeks ago, and they told everybody every day you have to provide proof of vaccination and take a COVID test. I got there, I provided proof of vaccination, took a COVID test, and they didn't check the rest of the week. It's this weird thing where it's man, if you really pull it apart, I'm pro-vaccine. I'm vaccinated. If you really pull it apart, none of it's truly with all of a girl I used to work with who on paper, she's a piece of shit. I love her. She's a great person, but on paper, she's a piece of shit. Was making at the very beginning of the lockdown, and they were doing the vaccines. For $150, she can give you either a positive test or a false test.
Yeah,
And
when we were in Belize, the agent, they were so cool with us, and the guy was like, if anybody wants to test positive, let me know. But I just let you know we've never had a positive test.
wink, wink.
Yeah. If anybody wants to get stuck here.
All right, so I guess I could just pass it. 1,000 liters of this. We've got just enough for about 1,200 bottles. It'll be distillery only release, 21-year-old Grand Champagne. And you tasted this before. We had all the sample bottles before.
Yeah, I love this one.
Actually, I think we picked it at your house, right?
Yeah.
The very first time? And I think
Man, packed with fruit.
Joseph Chin's going to be happy that we snagged a cognac. And it's all cask strength, so everything...
It tastes high proof.
That's higher proof than I would have expected.
Yeah, 21 years old. I want to say it's 57.5, somewhere in there, maybe 58%. So it's
a total fruit bomb.
we talked about watering it down, but I was like, nah, just take smaller sips and take
I'm
your time with
because
it.
it's higher proof than I expect for a cognac.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
I'd probably add water. I like it. It's great like this, but I'd probably add a little bit, and I will.
So yeah, we've been in Dallas the last 2 days, and went to the proof check, got the labels printed. They'll be arriving this weekend, and I don't know that we'll have. I'm gonna try to get a couple bottles hand labeled for the social, so that we can at least debut it there.
Yeah.
But it won't go into full bottling production until probably a week after. But I'm excited. It's so nice, gregarious grump to finally
delicious.
Get off the ground and
Super floral and fruity,
Ugh.
especially with the water. Got the florals kind of
It's
came
really
out.
floral.
Do you have a glass? You want some?
That's right.
It's not what I expected.
What'd you expect?
I don't know.
You hate it?
I'm probably
Just say you hate it.
more grape forward, if you will. But
Just
it's
say you
more.
hate it.
It's more. I don't hate it.
I've never seen you wearing flowers or anything, so no flower prints, no flowers in your ear.
Not in my ear.
Have you picked out your? What are you wearing to the social?
I don't know.
He's making me nervous a little bit. Todd sent
I
me
don't know
some.
yet.
Todd sent me some very confident. Like I got my outfit picked out. I'm like, you
That
got
was
your
to both of
outfit
you.
picked
I
out?
sent that to both of you.
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't. So
I haven't
he was
looked
like,
at
"Do you
my,
wanna share?" And I
formal
was like,
clothes in
"No."
a while.
it's a surprise.
Yeah.
You need to get one of those. You see those wardrobe changes where like they do a thing and it
Yeah,
change.
the TikTok
a quick
thing.
change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd quick changing at the social would be the most flamboyantly amazing thing, the most Todd thing I've ever seen.
Flamboyantly.
I don't know if I
amazing.
want to go under the radar or try to one up Todd. But then like trying to one up Todd, I got to go big if I want to do that.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
I'll say it's not. It's not. I wouldn't call it peacocking. I don't think it's not bright and
I
crazy.
would. I'd call it. I have a feeling. Didn't you wear a purple jacket last year?
No, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's plum.
Feels peacocky.
It's plum.
Okay, sorry. I will say this: no matter what you do, get comfortable shoes,
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
because it's a long day. It's like 20 hours.
Like I said, I change at the end of the day. Before,
I'm used to-
before people come in.
Yeah. Long customer events and dress shoes that are uncomfortable. I'm good with it.
I didn't even mention for those who I know we've been gone a couple of weeks with everything that's been happening, and we'll probably take a quick break right after the social. But for those who want to come to the event, the tickets can be found at HoustonWhiskeySocial.com. Go to Eventbrite. The event's also on Facebook. Follow the Whiskey Social. It's a page on Facebook. And get the tickets. I think we did the math one year. Someone was pointing something out. It was like a grand total of 40 cents a drink. In terms of
value.
I presented it to someone. I was like, imagine
If you drink 400,
yeah. Imagine going to a bar, giving the bartender $80, and him disappearing for 3 hours, and you get to pour anything behind the bar. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what the social is. It's a chance for you to learn about the spirits, and of course, try as much as you safely can.
Except you don't get to pour yourself, but you know.
Yeah, I mean the event is packed to the brim of, and for those who've been in the past, I remember the second year we can talk about past events. The second year we got to actually drink with Winston Churchill's great grandson a bottle of scotch from World War II.
Wow.
that's awesome.
So the year that his great grandfather was smoking cigars and fighting the Nazis, we got
crazy.
to it was an awesome
The
event.
blacktop rum. I mean, I think that was my first time at the social, and I was blown away by that it came in. What's the container called?
Flagon.
Flagon.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
flagon.
The wicker.
Yeah. And I have aspirations to track down a couple more of those just to
awesome.
have the music. Didn't I give you the actual flagon?
I do.
it's
and
in
I
your-
have 2 bottles and a flagon.
Yeah. God, it's ridiculous. What'd you bring with you, Dom?
I brought an old Wild Turkey 8101 and then I think they're both 81 because they happen to be my birth years, but
Nice.
an Old Crow National Distiller Old Crow 80 proof, I think.
And Todd brought the Prideful Goat.
Yeah, the 15-year-old Heaven Hill.
15-year-old Heaven Hill.
Yeah. I did that for
It's a
on
running joke.
purpose.
Yeah.
Have you guys had it?
No.
good.
Is it the newest release?
No, but it was this year. I think that there's another one that's newer. But
Yeah.
there's
And
a 16 now.
our the great people over at Glass Rev Spirits, they've got the next series of Waterford Irish whiskeys that they just came in today. So I'm excited. We've got a lot of drinking to do. We've got our homework cut out for us, and of course, I'd love to talk Fierce Whiskers. I'd love to talk, a little bit about everything you've got going on. Everyone knows Todd. Todd's been here 1,000 times. And
I brought the iFlit Guyana
that's right.
rum as well.
Let's talk
18-year-old.
Holmes Gay too.
Yeah.
So I don't know Eric that well. We've only kind of talked in passing. I don't even know that Eric knows that I have my own bottling thing going on. But Holmes K just started distribution in Texas. So you're going to start seeing these single barrels pop up as well. Do you know what you paid for it?
$150.
How much, or how old is it?
18 years old.
18-year-old iFlit, and that distillery is no longer around.
And I picked up a 24-year-old from K&L a couple months ago, and I think that one was over 200.
Yeah.
220.
Well, let's pop the rum first.
Yeah.
Holmes K. See, there, as far as I know, there are 4 major independent bottlers of high-end rums in the U.S. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maison Velier, that's the number 1, most famous. Although the last couple of years have been a bit lackluster, in my opinion. Rolling Fork, the No Finer Spirits guys, Jordan and Turner. Gregarious Grump, purveyor of fine single barrel rums and cognacs, and hopefully mezcal soon. And you guys got one?
Yeah.
And Holmes K.
Well, what about what's the one that is it Continental or it comes in a box and there's a ship on it? What brand is that?
Comes in a box and
I know what
there's
you're
a
talking
ship
about.
on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah,
But,
they come with interesting names to them to kind of match.
Yeah,
this.
there's a
I don't even have to
there-
put this
there's
to
just
my
a
nose. I can
one-word
like
name.
nose this from back here.
The nose is great. I think same with the Grump. The nose on these Guyana rums is amazing.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, you just had Dom was over last night before the Astros game, and he had
Oh, yeah, how'd it go?
The '97 Velier.
No, we didn't. We
on,
didn't win. I don't watch
We didn't
volleyball.
win. It was a great, fun game. My buddy flew
First
in.
World Series games.
This was game 1. My buddy flew in from Atlanta because we had a long-standing arrangement that if it was ever Braves Astros, I would host him at a game and he would host me at one. So I go out on Friday to go to the one. He was here.
Oh, that's so cute.
Todd was a gracious host. But yeah, I tried the other iFlute for the first time. What was that?
He had the '97, the Velier one,
Yeah.
which is just like
Brilliant.
all-time great.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand what Bellier's model has shifted a bit because it used to be this. I mean, they were the company, and the last couple
They
years
released all that rum in 2018. You know, all that Jamaican, the Worthy Park stuff.
Yeah.
Last Ward. Remember
ton-
that? It was
but
like a whole thing, and there hasn't.
The
been
Last
as
Ward
much.
was great,
The Privateer was good.
Yeah.
It came out recently.
and I like the Last Ward, but we bought some 19 to 20-year-old Mount Gay barrels, and they haven't really been seen in the market in a while. So this will be the first time that I know of. Oh, we're not supposed to say where they're from. And I don't recall exactly where they're from, but they're from Barbados, and not from Foursquare.
I remember trying.
They're from Mount Gay. They're
They're very good.
they're 19 to 20. Oh, yeah, that's right. You came to the distillery and tasted them.
I like that better than the others, and that you think I'm terrible for liking them better than the others.
Well, so it's Mount Gay is a rum drinker's rum for
Talk
sure.
about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. It's a running joke of me not being able to say anything.
Happy Mountain.
Yeah, Happy Mountain. You said Happy Mountain. I fucked that up. Yeah. See, I lost my train of thought because I'm trying to work around what I'm not supposed to say. We've got some barrels from Barbados that's 19 to 20 years old that we haven't really seen in the market. We know Last Ward came from the same distillery. But after that, what have they released that wasn't, crazy expensive? The white rums just kill me. I don't want to pay $100 for a white rum. And I did. That's what kills me.
You did?
Yeah, when they first came out, I bought them all.
Okay, the finish on this is crazy long and like weird fruit, like way
This
after
was a
it's
great
done.
follow-up to the cognac because
Interesting.
it's similarly like fruity.
It's got some
This is more fruity.
Yeah.
For
it's
sure.
got some sweetness to it.
Can
and
we
it's slightly less proof.
Circle back to Velier.
Yeah.
Which I'm the only one that's saying it correctly.
Yes,
Velier,
it's true,
right?
Velier.
Oh, they insist
That's
it's Velier.
Italian. The
non-French.
yeah.
Wait,
It's an
what's Italian? Velier?
Velier.
Yeah, it's an Italian company, right? So
Yeah,
it's,
you're right.
It's Velier, but everyone says Velier because it seems like that would be the right way because it seems it's
Foyer,
fancy. It's like a
foyer,
fancy.
whatever.
Yeah,
fancy
and when you
company.
pay when you pay for very expensive rums, you tend to dress it up a bit.
Stick your pinky out a little.
Yeah. Look down on people. Show people your credit scores. Every bottle comes with a free bump and credit. No, the when you tried it, what? You were saying something about it.
No.
Circling back to Velier.
You said circle. You
Yeah,
just
I
wanted to
just-
tell me that.
yeah,
it was
yeah.
Just that we're saying it wrong.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
well,
all.
Apologies. Next time I'll wear my gator boots.
Everybody does it.
Everybody except you.
I think who told us correctly was Kate from.
Kate's amazing.
Yeah, I think she's the one who corrected us.
And it sounds like I'm shitting on Velier, but I like them. I like their rums. They stopped producing hyper aged single barrels and stuff like that, and I miss those. Holmes K does it. Rolling Fork does it. Gregarious Grump does it. I don't know.
But you know what? Like this stuff that they've done, and this isn't to like shit on any of the other names you just gave because I just bought. I like all of them.
They were the first, yeah.
But the stuff that they got is epic. I mean, those old releases are some of the best rums that I've ever had.
And they
just found great barrels.
They developed international insane notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
Like and we talked about this I think before we started filming. One of the Gregarious Grumps that we're about to release is 27 years old from New Yarmouth, a dead distillery. Someone just posted. So someone else bought some other barrels of the same
Can we
stuff.
talk about that one?
Yeah, we can say that. It's a dead distillery. They're, I would do it anyways. Pretend like it was a mistake. They bottled theirs first at 26 years old. And the price in Canada was $350. In the UK, there was one that was released for $418 for a 26-year-old Jamaican distillery, all column still, dead. We just got a barrel and we're releasing it for under $200. Like half the price, slightly older, 27 years old.
Yeah.
And it's freaking
I love
amazing.
it.
And you hated it, right?
No, I didn't hate it. It's very good. I just liked the Barbados one.
You
better.
have to like the Jamaican style, but it's a very to me,
It's a different take on
gentle Jamaican.
gentle
style.
Jamaican, yeah.
I don't know because I know we can't. We probably don't know how much of that aging was continental. My guess is probably at least 10 years.
The vast
15
majority
years.
of it was Caribbean aged.
And that's always interesting to me what happens with rum or really any spirit that ages in a cooler environment because it happens so slow. Like cognac and Armagnac. Like what other spirits can you get that are like almost 30 years old that aren't an oak bomb, and it's not that at all. I don't think it's oaky at all.
It's not. I
would say it this way: it's very good, and has the coolest story of any of the things you've ever brought in. Right? Like, it's just really, really, really neat barrel.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Super stoked. This is fantastic, though. I mean, Holmes K, I'm excited to see them in Texas.
Yep.
No additives, barrel proof, 18 years ex-bourbon. There's nothing to complain about here.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Where do you want to go first? Dusty?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. For sure.
You sure?
Yeah, the old Fitz is 100 proof, but still, I think the 80 proof stuff's got to be next.
I mean, so I brought that right mostly because it's so often that people, oh no, it has to be 100 proof or has to be really high proof for it to be good. And I don't think that's the case.
We've talked about this.
I know.
There's some, there's been some recent controversy around the Prideful Goat, in particular North Texas. There's a lot of all of the heat that Houston. Look at the smile on Todd's face right now. All of the argument and fighting and civil war that was happening in South Texas back in 2018, 2019 is now happening in North Texas. And there's some people up there who don't care for my extremely kind and humble and hospitable partner Randall, and I think that the dislike comes from the fact that if you're a Facebook group guy, yes, let me just finish this.
Well, that smells dusty.
I think something happens. Two things happen in the Facebook world, and me and Todd were talking about this. A lot of people love to start groups and parade themselves as being absolutely amazing, changing the game, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's fair to say that even at times, HBS maybe have come off that way. And the other side of it is when a group does do something cool and different and unique, there are other people, especially within, if you think you're the group in Dallas or the group in Houston, the other group tends to write you off. So there's been some feedback about the goat being too low of proof, and those people prefer
Too low?
Yeah.
At what is it?
I'm painting a very big picture. Come along with this story. We'll get there. I think, and we've talked about this before, there's this thing that happens where, we all start off mixing with Coke, then we start drinking with maybe an ice cube, then we start drinking with a few drops of water, then we start drinking neat, then we start drinking high proof. And eventually, we stay up here a long time, that proof bias, where we prefer super hot stuff for a very long time. Eventually, you start to enjoy lower proof items again. You can enjoy an 80 proof Dusty and find it well. I know a lot of people who don't. And then,
But they never could.
What's that?
Who also say they never could.
They will affirm that I don't like this. They look at it as a negative. In the same way that a lot of people think that way about Jack.
Yeah.
When you start off with Jack, there's this middle area in your journey where you look down on Jack, then you find Jack barrel proof, and you're like, oh my God, some of the best whiskey being made right now, some of the best bourbon being made right now. Jack Daniels makes fantastic single barrels. So my point is that this is just my opinion, and I'm not trying to come off any particular way. I like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. We just did a barrel selection of it. I like the goat more. And I think if you were to do a blind study of preferences through taste, I think that some people might lean on something because it's higher proof versus actual flavor.
And release like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is so popular that people automatically assume that it's greatness, and not every batch is. Some of them are great.
Oh no, yeah.
Going back further, some of them are some of the best bourbon that I've had.
There's a great.
Not everyone is good.
Rob Clark from was it Food, Wine, and Whiskey in Your Own Backyard? Rob Clark did a blind Elijah Craig Barrel Proof episode with me, and my favorite one was I think it was batch A or B, and it was the lowest proof. And going into the tasting, the other two guys mentioned they preferred we like C better, and C was the highest proof. It's like 136 or something. And when we did it blind, their answers changed.
Yeah, blind reveals much.
But I'm going to say it this way, and I don't mean it other than to be factual, right? Like, in a lot of cases, it's easier to discern higher proof versus lower proof than it is any other flavor profile or anything else that someone can't articulate.
Which
right?
is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. I think some people will assume something's better because it's higher proof versus something's. So taste is all subjective. Yeah. But I've had things that I thought I loved, and when I went back down from my proof bias and started enjoying lower proof offerings, I didn't feel the same way anymore. But if you have someone that's stuck in the high proof phase, they might be more inclined to like something more based off its proof versus...
Sure.
No, for sure. Most people go through exactly the same journey that you just described.
Correct.
It starts low. They can't even handle 90. They're drinking it with ice and with water. They move up. They stay there a while, and then eventually start to appreciate the lower proof again.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. It sounds. I realize that me defending or arguing anything because it's my brand, blah blah blah. I get it. I'm just when I see something said like you know how beauty is objective. People always say beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but that's not necessarily true. There's an actual mathematical equation to define something as beautiful. Some people may not. Based off personality, might be turned off by that person. But you can objectively say, Todd's a handsome fella. And I think I think the GOAT is better than Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
The real point of the story was that he wanted to say that to me. It has nothing to do with this.
Yeah. I was just building up to...
Somebody owe you some money for working that in?
Trying to hit on Todd. Todd's like, mention my shoes. No, I don't know. I don't even know how we got on the subject, but it's been an interesting. I enjoy this.
I mean, I bring this up, and I brought this mostly just, I mean, particularly as we talked about the whiskey social, right? If it happens to be at someone's house or at an event that you get to try something, I would say if you haven't had lower proof, dusty stuff that you get the opportunity to try, it might change your mind.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's a different profile. It's not that Wild Turkey is nowhere near the current Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah, not even close.
No, it's not. Someone messaged me earlier. Ryan Hallbrook was like, "Hey man, I'm looking at an 84 Wild Turkey versus batch 10 of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof." And I was like, "Okay, well in that case, that's going to be a
Totally
tough call."
different.
It's a totally different for sure, but that's a tough call. Those early batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof are legendary bourbon, and I love Old Wild Turkey. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna have some in a second as soon as I finish this. But I think I'm going to give the edge to the Batch 10 Barrel Proof if you had to pick blind what tastes better. They killed it.
I don't remember Batch 10.
Man, those old squat bottles.
Yeah,
But they're very different
They went
profiles.
to 12.
Very
right?
different profiles.
Batch 12 was the last old bottle.
But they might be about the same secondary. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick one based off pricing, I'm posing the question to you now. Have you had those old batches?
Yeah.
Okay, so what
I mean,
if you-
for me, it depends on my mood, right? Like, for me, the older Elijah Craig barrel proof batches are more cinnamon spice, tingly bacon
The
spice,
most
all of that.
typical Heaven Hill profile.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just
Classic.
crushed it out of the park, classic Heaven Hill, that profile. And,
Perfect
and the
Kentucky
older,
bourbon.
The older Dusty Turkey is oak caramel, like, in balance in a way that I don't know that anyone can match for me.
in a imbalance?
In balance, like in harmony with
Two
each other.
words.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, not I am balance, in balance.
Right.
with each other.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure you weren't saying imbalanced as in
No.
one word, as in not
Yeah,
balanced.
Completely in balance with each other.
Who's on first? Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I may have said that sentence already too many times this episode. I apologize. But Wild Turkey, Old Turkey, there's something sentimental to me about it. The Americana, the nostalgia, everything about it. I have way too many of those bottles. I
Never have too many.
Sure, but I love them. And
too.
I have
They're-
2 of those old Elijah Craig barrel proof bottles.
I'm coming around. I used to say I don't like the Funky Turkey, but drinking this now, it's delicious. And I'd rather have this than the Batch 10, even though I haven't had the Batch 10.
Oh, you
'Cause
talked
I
me
have
into it.
enough
I know,
of the
I
old
know you
ones.
say that they were. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you.
No.
I think now, if you're talking 80s turkey versus the earlier Elijah Craig barrel proofs, the secondary pricing is the turkey's probably 2x.
You think so?
Yeah.
More than the Elijah Craig?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
What's the current 8101? Like for like an 80?
In the early mid
1981?
80s, you're
6 to 8.
700 plus now.
Yeah, so were the old batches.
Well, no, because Batch 1 is probably
Batch
about
one,
600 right
yeah.
now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You can probably
Which is still to me one of the best bargains.
I mean, it's a great
Batch
bargain.
1 is one of my favorites ever, and it's just again, it reminds me of like GTS. Part of the reason I like it is it's that cinnamon caramel perfect bourbon profile, and that's what the Batch 1 is.
That's not bad guy.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
In true turkey form, I had to have the replacement stopper else.
Yeah, and you used a turkey stopper. That's nice. Oh, we were talking to me and you, right, about one of the best things you could do right now in bourbon. Pro tip is stock up on rare breed. Not the rye. Garbage excuse for a product. But I'm just kidding.
Leave that alone.
I'm just kidding. The rare breed bourbon in today's market is regularly available, extremely approachable in both flavor and price. That's what you should be buying, and you should be buying cases of it.
Yep. Dom has heard my sermons on this subject. I say it all the time that rare breed is the best thing on the shelf. One of the best things, I would say, but it's just so consistently good.
Kentucky Spirit used to be the higher end version, but I think people now
for
prefer
sure.
rare breed.
I don't know anybody who drinks Kentucky Spirit anymore.
But it's good.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I just like rare breed more.
I think it's about $10 cheaper.
It's because it's like Wild Turkey, but it's older, right?
Because the
it's
Kentucky Spirit single barrel, right? So
and it's a 101.
Single barrel, slightly higher proof, I think.
It's 101, I think. I thought it was
higher
101.
proof than Rare Breed. No,
Rare Breed's
lower.
114.
Rare Breed is for sure higher.
114.
You think so?
116.8.
16.8. There you go.
Okay, hold on. It's been that long. Kentucky Spirit Wild Turkey proof. All right. And who called it? What'd you say?
101.
You're right. Yeah, 101 proof, 8 years old. So Rare Breed subjectively.
It's just an older version of Wild Turkey 101.
Come on. Let's rise.
We are the ones with the fun burning, baby. You can shake it till you break it in the morning light.
Come on. Get prepared as soon as you hit the playback. We about to ignite every one of them haystacks. If you ain't ready, fool, you should make tracks. It's the beat rock, no time to fake jack. Rock it out all night.
See the flames rising as they rise.
Show me what you got. Get a sip of the rye.
Yeah, so the Rare Breed, so it's a conversation. I don't know if we've talked about it on the show before, that I've asked people before. When we look back at these old bottles, people wish that, Dom just said that the Wild Turkey's like $700. And how much was it on the shelf? $10, $15, $20? Not even that much. It's under 20 now. That people back then were drinking it and they knew that it was good. But it was so readily available that they didn't feel the need to go buy a bunch of it. So they didn't. And now in hindsight, they wish they had. So my question was, well, there's got to be something now.
I mean, that happens with crypto all the time, right? Like, you're like, I remember when it hit 19,000 Bitcoin. People were like, nah, it's too late. I missed the boat.
Yeah.
And then now what is it, 60?
Yeah. I thought it was too late at 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like there's got to be, and I know that people like to shit on modern bourbon and say that it's not as good as vintage, but there's got to be something out there that in 20 years we're going to say, I wish I had cleared the shelf on that. Readily available, and I've always said that Rare Breed is that. I mean, because the batch is going to change. The bottle eventually will probably change, and you know what happens in bourbon when they change bottles. Suddenly it's more desirable, the old bottle.
Elmer T. Lee, E.H. Taylor, Smoke Wagon. I mean, what else has gone from, I'll pass because it was okay.
McKenna,
I feel like was a bubble because of.
Yeah, but you can't get it now. Like it was on the shelf readily.
Really?
And it was on our list, even in HBS. Remember we made a list of what bottles do we recommend that are easy to get? McKenna was on that in like 2017. And now you can't get it. It's behind glass or in the back. Anything that's good ends up winning an award and then it's gone.
Well, this is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
What year is this? Let me guess.
81.
81?
Sorry.
It's okay. Well, I saw
You already said it.
I saw the barcode. The barcode thing was more prevalent in around 85, 86, but Wild Turkey in particular did it early, I think before anyone else. So it definitely, I would have guessed wrong. But this is fantastic.
It is hard for me on a consistent basis to find something that I can look at and go, it beats this.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Beautiful.
just.
The Old Crow is fun, but around 1980, I think it was exactly 1980, Old Crow switched from 43% to 80 proof on almost all their products. And so there was, if you get 60s or earlier Old Crow, life-changingly delicious. 70s, 80s, 90s, decent drinker, fun, dusty, nothing life-changing. And that was good.
Yeah.
But that Wild Turkey
It's something
is
different.
goddamn
The
delicious.
Crow has like a very corny smell, like super.
You want to try
dusty.
this, Brandon?
Sure.
And then we get back into vaccines again. Did we talk about that on air?
We're gonna cut that out.
Yeah. We avoid politics. Try
Try
the
whatever you like.
81, the Wild Turkey closest to you. And what's crazy is you think we're gonna run out of this stuff. It was so prevalent that they still end up everywhere, and the price has not changed much. I mean, dude, I went through a phase in 2019 before COVID where I was buying high and didn't realize how high it was until COVID hit, and then all the prices dropped back down, like $450, $600 for 80s Wild Turkey, and now what's it up to? You said 8?
7, 8, yeah.
Dude, I had a 71 that I paid $1,000 for, and it's too much.
When I first started,
Was it in New York, or?
No. The 71 wasn't, but the 69 I bought for Matthew McConaughey fucking was 1,200 or something.
Well,
when I first got on the secondary market, and I want to say maybe 2017, Cheesy Gold Foil was 500, and I remember thinking, "Damn,
yeah.
that's expensive."
And it was so good.
And now what is it? Over 1,000,
yeah.
1,200.
1,200 probably?
Yeah.
For the earlier years. Or no, for the later years.
Yeah, 91. Those were the 89, 90, 91.
Yeah, they
Cheesy
say
Gold
91 is
Foil
the
was-
end generally
yeah.
of the.
But I mean, even
funky,
the 93, 94, like the 94s are the ones that, like, some of them aren't actually CG Gold foils in, but they come in the tube. Those are still 1,100 plus.
Have you had the split label 12th year?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Because that was like the
That one
people say
didn't
like
get.
the budget version of Cheesy Gold Foil.
Yeah, that one never got the shine that 8101 did or CGF did.
So I always thought that the Old Fitz
Yeah.
almost has like a dusty like note to it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the decanter; it's fooling me, but
The last one of these that I've had. Was
You know, it's not a
really
screw
oaky.
top, right?
man, it's on there.
Really
Oh.
oaky. But which one is this one?
I mean, look at the size of the cork.
It looks weirdly sexual.
Bell shaped.
I know. It's very odd.
How? Oh, this is the 15.
Yeah,
We did get 2 or 3 of these for the social.
different years with this one. So I think
When did
this
this-
was
when did this come
2020.
out?
I think it's 2020.
Okay. So I want to say for this. Yeah.
19.
I want to say that one. So we
19.
got 2 or 3 of those that were offered to us pre-lockdown release.
Give me 1 second.
So early this year or late last year. And I just put them aside for the social with a little green sticker on them.
I like these.
I know people love these.
I still like the 9-year. It's one of my favorites.
I mean, they're beautiful decanters, right?
Yeah, it is beautiful.
I mean, gorgeous. I'm going to hold off and finish this 101 before I do this.
Yeah, I don't want to bomb this, but
I mean, this is hilarious. Those bottles have to be expensive,
Mm-hmm.
especially during the glass shortage we have now. Have you started the new job yet? No, you're.
I don't have a new job.
You don't have a job.
Man.
You don't have a job. Todd's got a new job. I don't have a job.
You have a job.
I have a job.
In quotes.
In quotes, it's my job.
If you have too much fun, it doesn't count.
I mean, I don't have a job, but I am very busy. I got a lot of stuff to take care of. So.
Like going to World Series games.
Yeah, I know.
well, that's
flying
it.
out.
I got a lot of family stuff going on, so take care of that.
Is your wife still doing her podcast?
She is.
Oh, what did you do?
It is a podcast for ADHD moms.
It's a great name. It's called Life in ADHD.
Life in ADHD. But podcast, and then she started doing some classes, some sort of like online classes, and then some almost like master class sort of stuff, Q&A stuff for the students who sign up. It's taken off. I think I'm going to get it wrong and she'll be mad, but I think she's like top 50 family podcast or something like that.
Nice.
But getting some momentum and going, and we have discussions around it taking a lot of her time, as you well know, as a podcast.
Yeah.
And all that, but no, it's good.
I have
and
to
she's
work. I'm
helping
meeting with
people.
Dom and Todd. We're gonna have drinks and talk about business.
It did get me a little clearance to say, hey, I'm gonna go on Chris's podcast. She was like, oh, okay, it's fine. So
Yeah.
no
Podcasting's
questions there.
okay.
But, yeah, gets a green light faster.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I love this show. I wish I had more help with scheduling. I like if all I had to do was show up at the same time every week. Most of the time, it wouldn't be a problem. I love doing the show. I love sitting here. I love working with Brandon. He couldn't be easier to work with. Dancing over there. But there's so much happening with the Whiskey Social, and then we want to do the Agave Social in the spring, and me managing this brand, and I took over the position of Director of Product Development for Gulf Coast or Cadeco. So it's my schedule is packed.
My wife would tell you to hire a VA,
What's that mean?
a virtual assistant.
Virtual assistant.
Yeah, what is elaborate?
From what I understand, it's essentially an assistant to help you with scheduling or whatever you task them to do. They can do it remotely, and
They work for other people,
And they work,
like, it's like a
yeah,
split?
it's like yeah. So
Oh,
like,
so it's
you
like-
just pay them per hour. You know, you interview them for whatever qualifications and skills you want, but they can do it virtually, remotely from wherever, and
Does she have one?
she does
Seems like the next.
Can I talk to your wife?
for sure.
Next HBS
Is
contest.
that comes out a little awkward, but sure.
Yeah. Can I talk to your wife alone? What'd you say, Todd?
The next HBS contest.
Yeah. A virtual. We'll hook you up with a bottle of Old Weller Antique. Yeah, no, it's
Stag Junior is what everybody wants.
It's interesting because even just working with people, it's hard to find people who have as much, they care as much as you do about
Yeah,
something.
for sure.
So, I'm not shit talking, but my previous partner just had a lot going on his plate and didn't really put in the time, and I don't have a choice. That's the amazing thing about the social is like we could hire people to work the event, and we hire a lot, but if they just don't show up or are bad at their job, then it falls on you in the moment, and I could really use like a scheduling assistant or what do you call them? Someone you don't
Yeah.
pay.
An intern.
My wife. No, an intern. Yeah,
Wow.
an intern. Yeah, like just
Unpaid internship.
Do you guys have interns here
Let me see that.
at ESPN?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready for your.
See, look,
Cold
clearly you
fish.
should have just asked for an intern a long time ago. He's like, oh yeah, we got those lying around.
They're not worth anything, but yeah.
But they're physically here.
It's like pennies. Do I have
told
pennies?
you.
Sure, they're not
It's in
worth
there.
anything, but I have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, that,
And there's been a lot of people over the years that have been like, "Hey, man, if you ever need anything," and I'm like, "All right, I could really use someone to deliver these stickers 47 miles away from you in each direction." Todd's the only one who's ever said yes. You fucking idiot. Todd's been the only one that's like, "I'm in, man. Let's do this. I got the time. I got the effort."
not as much now.
I'm really happy for you, man.
We still make it work though.
I always get a little upset when someone asks me, "Didn't Todd just take over like a COO position?" I'm like, "He did." And they're like, "How much money is he making?" I'm like, "I don't want to talk about this. Can we change the subject?" I'm doing good too. Like it's you are absolutely way
don't
busier.
compete.
But the easy answer
No, we
is,
don't
I don't
compete.
know.
We
I don't
don't-
know what Todd gets paid. I don't care what Todd gets
I
paid.
mean, I do know, but we don't compete. But I've relied.
I was being sarcastic.
Okay, yeah, because I've relied so
We don't, not openly.
not openly. No, we've relied. I've relied so heavily on your help the last couple of years, and it's been amazing that it. And you're still available.
I still don't think I've had to say no. Maybe once there was one thing.
There's been a couple times like when I was going to.
Oh, I didn't go to
Dallas
Kentucky.
or Kentucky.
I
yeah.
just started the job, so that was
Yeah.
a good excuse.
Todd was like-
First week, I can't go to Kentucky.
I just started my new job. Yeah, take a week off and go to Kentucky with me. I was like, I can't.
Yeah. You missed a good one though.
Yeah. So, what was your favorite from that trip? What?
Oh, that's right. You were there.
Because did you guys do
so forgettable.
two bullet picks or one?
You see, you would forget because I didn't make that freaking picture that you keep putting on HBS.
The one picture I posted.
Yeah.
At Four Roses.
Well, no, all the ones at Four Roses I missed because we had to wait for
I know. We took a photo. We didn't even think about taking a photo until
I know.
after you left.
I know. It's okay.
But I took that picture down. It's now.
right.
What's our mascot for the Astros? Orbit.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Ryan
it's like
Bridges.
Ryan's- yeah.
Shout out to Ryan Bridges.
I mean, my favorite from that trip, I mean, I will say...
Oh, the picture Ryan took.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say
With the
that
rum, I think, right?
I think a lot of people will be very happy with
I have to pee so bad.
the
I know you do.
the ECBP pick. But,
Oh,
God.
no. Was that on the strip?
No, we're good.
We're good?
It caught it.
But I
That was close.
man,
Once
I'm,
you pee, we're like at a disrupted time here.
I'm not even as big of a Four Roses homer as a lot, but that Four Roses pick is...
I've been
gonna
hearing
be
that a
good.
lot lately. What does that mean? A homer?
Like fanboy, whatever. I mean...
So like Tater?
No, I think he
No.
just means fanboy.
You've heard of this?
A homer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it means like you're like a mark for the home team.
What does that mean?
Like the home team? God, you don't know shit about.
No, I know
How
what-
are you on ESPN?
No, I know what a home team is,
Yeah,
but
so
what's
you're a
a
homer.
mark for the home team?
Like you will love them regardless, no matter how good or bad.
just talking about
win, lose, or
fanboy.
draw.
Oh,
Like
a
super
fanboy. Super fanboy.
I understood what you were saying. I think Homer's like a slightly adjacent synonym to it.
Yeah.
To a tater.
No, to a fanboy.
Like even if something is
You
objectively
know how the
bad
Four
and
Roses
the product they
that-
put out is bad, you will still love them.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of
there
people
are
like
Four
that.
Roses people who are crazy about Four Roses.
Even when they're bad Four Roses, yeah.
well,
okay.
maybe. But I like OESV is one of my favorites. So that's what you picked, right?
Yep.
OESV. Yeah, that sounds good.
Speaking of things I'm not supposed to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. There is, and I won't say who on either side, but a couple weeks ago I found out that there is a Texas distillery that is selling, that has a more profitable per bottle, sells more barrels than a major Kentucky distillery. A Texas distillery.
Good for them.
I just couldn't believe it.
People like Texas.
It blew, and it's a very, very, very popular Kentucky distillery that's getting blown out of the water by more than 30% by a Texas distillery. And by the way, if I were to say the Texas distillery,
Well, they happen
It'd
to
be
be
shocking.
they happen to be expensive bottles, and that helps, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what the actual
Yeah.
volume is of bottles compared to
Well, each-
revenue.
well, each barrel is going to be yield more because
Yield
any-
more and a higher price.
correct. Any Texas distillery is going to be, even at cask strength, 180 bottles, 200 bottles, than a Kentucky distillery that's 10
You're
years
talking
old.
about the age, right? I mean, I wonder what the average age is for this distillery for those picks. 4 or 5 years, you think? Older?
6,
6?
4 to 6.
Remember, that's just proof that one, it can be done, and then two, it can be done profitably, and there's some room there to have some upstarts and some mistakes, and there's room in the market for it.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying people like
Hold
Texas
on.
in
I
Texas.
have to pee.
Yeah.
I've never left.
knew it.
Go ahead and mark this and cut this
Yeah.
out. I have to pee.
I knew it.
I looked, I was like, I got 10 minutes left. I can't wait.
Also, he's so full of shit. He's done this before. Like,
Okay, so
So if the mark doesn't show it, Chris had to stop to pee, and I mentioned that
Yeah.
because it just reminded me of something. Like you need one of those dune suits where you can just like let all your moisture.
Yeah, I saw that.
I haven't
yeah,
seen
yeah.
it yet.
Did you watch the movie?
I haven't seen it yet.
You
I
liked
loved
it.
it. I loved
All right,
it.
I'm gonna go back and watch it in the theater. But when I watched it at home, I
Me
didn't.
too.
I didn't hate it, but it was very slow. And if you have kids running around, I think it takes.
But you
away
said
from the
you didn't
experience.
read it, right? You didn't read the book.
No.
And
But here's the
I'm
thing.
going to try not to be pretentious.
Okay, but let me be.
Yeah.
Let me be more reasonable. I already know what you're gonna say. A movie should be good on its own, regardless of the book.
Yeah, but what I was going to
If
say.
you need the book for context, then the movie sucks.
I think what made it enjoyable for me and the pace, I loved what other people are calling a slow pace because I knew what was coming. So I was looking forward to each moment. So like, the moment when he puts his hand in the thing with the pain. So
yeah.
in my
But that
mind,
was in
I was
the
like,
previews. It was in the
oh
previews.
man, like this, it's that moment. So like the anticipation of it coming and I knew what was going to happen. So for me, it was I was never thinking, when's all the action going to happen? Like it was always the little moments
You
were great.
knew what was coming.
It's a book of detail, like great detail, the words and everything that they use, and the movie just pulled it off. The music was fantastic. It reminds me of like Star Wars. Like
I love
John
the
Williams.
new Blade Runner, and it was markedly slower than the previous version, and very artistic. Visually, was a work of art, a genuine work of art. But you had to embrace the slowness. You had to embrace.
Can I pause real quick and just have Brandon rewind somewhere and give me the clip of him saying the anticipation of it coming? Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I actually,
that clip.
for 10 of those seconds, I wanted to say, and in my head,
You only anticipated it coming for 10 seconds?
I wanted to say, he goes, yeah, I knew what was coming. And in my head, I was like, your mother. And I just decided not to say it. Should I say it? Should I say it here? Can I say it here? Don't say it. Yeah, it's same exact thing. We're total children. But I'll give it another shot. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't dig
So
it.
for all the people who kept asking you how you got an early sneak peek at it, are we gonna let them know how you got to?
Yeah. There weren't that many. It was like 2. Sometimes when I get someone on the show that's going to do this show, I get sent screeners
Nice.
of said films. And sometimes those people end up canceling last minute like total assholes. So you don't have to mark it. Leave it in.
Oh man.
But we've had some couple of famous people that have stood us up 3 times. Brad Williams, D.L. Hughley. And even after we announce that they're going to be on the show, which is like a travesty. So it's a big no-no. But yes, so I won't say who because I think it's still going to happen. But there's some people from that movie that, and I got access to an early, like it came out a couple days later. And I think it was set to come out the 23rd. I saw it like a week early, but it still came out earlier than what we expected.
I mean, just trying to clear your name that you're not a bootlegger. That's all.
I mean, no. Why would I? We just did an interview with John Polano, Small Engine Repair, with John Bernthal. Saw it a week before it came out. Did somebody accuse me of being a bootlegger or just?
I think someone was asking you, like, "Oh, did you?"
And I didn't answer.
You didn't answer because you probably didn't see it. So
Yeah.
Just put it out.
Fair enough. Hey man, don't worry about it. Whoever's watching, don't worry about it. Yeah, sure, I was bootlegging. Dom sold it to me. I'll give it another shot. But how did we get to Dune? Oh, me peeing those suits.
Yeah, the suits.
I got the reference because I did see the movie and they talked about it. You can just recycle your fluids. Have you seen it yet?
No.
No. You have no interest, huh?
No, well, I didn't see the first one.
You shouldn't have to.
No, the old one is.
I get so mad at
was
people
crap.
with like the book. I'm like, no. Listen. A movie should be good on its own.
Well, okay, so
Harry Potter films were incredible, irrespective of how
books were
great the
great,
books
Except
were.
for the last 2.
I don't know. I liked it.
Come on.
I like the last
it was
2.
deep.
Order of the
Good.
Phoenix
It was
sucked
all
a bag
all
of
the
dicks.
tone.
It got dark.
But have you seen this the Scorsese interview where he like sort of shits on Marvel movies that it's just like a carnival and it's constant action and there's
Yes.
no substance?
Sure.
Dune is the
I've also
opposite.
seen comments from James Hilden.
Yes.
As soon as I said I didn't even say the movie was bad. I said it was ... slow. And people were like, "You hated the movie? You hated the movie?" And then he was like, "Oh,
But I can totally see why people would think that. It's just I think the familiarity with the material made it great for me.
I say the same thing about Many Saints of Newark because I know a lot of people had a lot of gripes about that movie.
Man, I just watched it.
And I'm a big Sopranos fan. That movie checked all the boxes for me, and I really liked it. But there's a lot of people who were like, "Oh, they didn't do enough to
we need
flesh
to
out
talk
certain
about
characters."
that later because
Well, we can talk about it
hated
now. The timeline's off. It took place in the 60s, so young. The whole thing didn't add up timeline-wise. I didn't finish watching it. I'm going to give it a fair shot without my wife because I tried to watch it with
why
my
not?
wife.
Tony looked like he was like 12.
No, if you Google it, it'll come up.
Okay.
The Sopranos, Many Saints of Newark don't line up with the timeline of the show The Sopranos by like a decade. And I'll give it a shot. And don't get me wrong, I think fan service is important. There are plenty of movies and shows that are really for the people who love those things. But to say that Dune was amazing because the book was amazing, the book hasn't been relevant in 40 years? Like, no one really read Dune 20 years ago. Dune was
There'd be a lot of people that argue with you.
I would disagree with that.
Dune was a thing like Lord of the Rings were a thing 50 years ago, 40 years ago.
It's an all-time great.
It is an all-time great. Don't get me wrong.
They made us read Lord of the Rings in school, and when I was in middle
Lord
school,
of the Rings
that
is more relevant than Dune was, I think. In timeline. For your timeline, for your age? 41?
I'm just saying Gen Xers were very familiar with Dune when I was growing up. So
That's a fair statement. I take what I said back.
and I think it's because that film was a it was a cult hit, not because it was good, but because it was based on a really good book. I think most people can say that first movie was dog shit, like objectively.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's based on really good source material, which is why
But the
people
technology
keep coming
wasn't
back for
there,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
sure.
to Chris's point, right? Like a movie should stand on its own, and so it's hard for me. And I'm going to go back to your comment of Martin Scorsese.
We're spoiled on all the action, though. I think.
For sure, but like it's hard for me to take that comment from Martin Scorsese when he does The Departed, and to really do that movie justice, you need to watch Infernal Affairs, the original Chinese versions of that movie.
I thought The Departed was fine on its
Departed
own.
was fantastic on its own.
Departed was
not.
fantastic on its own.
No, but
It is
again,
not.
You lost your damn mind.
You apparently have context of something else, which I don't. So me watching it with no idea
Correct.
what the hell you're
Thought it was
talking
amazing.
about. One of my favorite movies.
Same. Boom.
No.
I had no
No.
idea. What movie? Internal Affairs?
Infernal Affairs, it's a trilogy.
Infernal. It's not even a word. That's
It is.
made up. You're a bullshit liar.
No, but it's
Departed
a
was great.
trilogy.
Take his microphone.
And it was a remake of a Chinese movie that if you like to get the full context of it, you need to watch it.
Oh, so
I
you-
saw Big Trouble Little China. I'm also
All right,
familiar
Kurt Russell.
with
He's like
Chinese
Adrian.
movies.
He doesn't like the American remakes of anything.
Oh, dude.
no.
Adrian,
Like,
let's talk about fucking Adrian for a second. Adrian said The Office sucked because it's a ripoff of the British version. I'm like, it's not a ripoff. It's a literal. There's this thing where production companies will sell shows to other countries. They're still the first episode is a shot-for-shot remake of the British version. It's not a knockoff. It's a
Spin-off.
not a spin-off. It's
Sort
a.
of. By season whatever, it's a total spin-off, right? Like,
If
it's
I
totally
did the
different.
Whiskey Social in Brazil, it's not a knockoff of the Whiskey Social in Houston. It's the Whiskey Social in Brazil. It's like that's a better comparison. You know what I mean? Like The Office in America was amazing, and you're an idiot for saying otherwise. Actually, it wasn't The Office. It was it was Shameless that
He did talk about The Office, though.
Yes, Shameless is really what we were talking about.
Yeah,
but,
Shameless.
But the British version, the American version, were both incredible shows, and you're absolutely wrong. And your wife's taller than you, so go fuck yourself. Mark that.
I'm just gonna say, go watch that movie. They're freaking amazing.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing.
I'm interested.
So Departed was great, but let's go back to what were we talking about before? Movies should stand on their own.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If Dune's not good without the book context, then it's not good. It's as simple as that. And I saw lots of people in my timeline that said they loved it, and those people in their posts said that they read the book. And a lot of people in my timeline said they hated it, and I know for sure they didn't read the book.
It's fan service, and they did that on purpose, I think, because of what happened before. There were 2 other Dune movies that were horrific. So they probably, maybe they went a little too far into the direction of fan service.
Well, Marvel is known for that, right? That's part of what draws people in. Is Marvel's just popcorn fan service.
Well, but
This new movie with all three of the
I think
past.
Marvel has a wider appeal. That's why we are where we are. I feel like comic books was not a thing at one point. Comic book movies, and like Jenny can enjoy it. And she
By the way, it's the same audience though. The audience that was reading Dude in the '80s is the audience that
Yeah,
read comic books.
yeah.
It's the same.
But
so to shit on
but
one.
I think like Avengers movies though are liked by people who were not those nerds. Like I feel like there's appeal there. They're funny. They're well made. There's
They're
lots of
accessible.
action.
because they're cast
They're
well.
accessible.
But like Dune,
they're cast with if they didn't have big name superstars in it, like Chris Pratt and all these guys, then maybe it doesn't have that wide appeal. But because they cast so well, and Disney's
Yeah.
got the money to put a lot of star
for
power
sure.
into it,
Yeah.
I think that does make it more transcendent outside of the genre.
Yeah.
But it is a credit to the comic books and the depth that they can draw from on those characters and the character development over decades of
yeah.
source material, right? That those characters are so deep. They've already explored every aspect of those characters.
And I think
you can
people
draw
who
from all
don't know
of
them are surprised by that.
Yeah.
Because they think it's just garbage stuff for like little
Oh, it's
kids.
cartoons, right?
I think
Yeah.
going back to the debate on whether or not something is objective or not objective, I think it's not fair to say that the comic book movies are objectively bad. They work.
Because they're not.
They're not.
They're not bad. Exactly. They're entertaining. Of course I enjoy them, but I also enjoy slow stuff. I'm a fan of Ozarks. The Ozarks is incredibly a slow burn.
I think Scorsese's comment, it's not necessarily just hate on that genre. It's saying that that's becoming the predominant thing, whereas he's a filmmaker.
It's a bit saturated,
He wants to
yeah.
make, like, one of the great things that he was talking about and that I love is the Netflix and all the streaming services that we have now that you can make a 4-hour movie and we will sit down and watch it in our living room.
The
Whereas
Justice
in the
League
past,
remake.
anything over 2 hours, people were like out because it can't work in the movies.
Dude.
It doesn't matter anymore, and that's wonderful.
I took a
With
buddy
the
of
Irishman,
mine.
that was great.
I took a buddy of mine to go see The Terminal with Tom Hanks. It was an incredible film,
Mandate? Nice.
and he hated it because it was 3 hours long, and I have not talked to him in 15 years.
Stop.
We're not friends anymore.
So that was your last date. Okay.
I mean, it's not. It wasn't because of that. I realized we don't align with with normal functioning behavior, but I couldn't believe somebody would hate a movie for being.
movie.
It was a great movie, you know. And then
In good movies, you don't want them to end. You just want it to keep going.
The Irishman could have been trimmed down a little bit.
Yes.
But it was a good film.
Yeah, it didn't bother me.
And so far, I liked it more than The Sopranos. I was a huge
Yes.
Sopranos fan.
No, I agree with that.
James Gandolfini
Irishman's a much better movie. Although, to your point, the last 40 minutes could have been lobbed right the fuck off.
in The Irishman. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, also that scene where they this is the worst scene in any Martin Scorsese film of all time, and it just happened to be in his last film. And spoiler alert, but there's a scene where they digitally de-age
haven't seen this.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
I'm not spoiling it.
All right.
Yeah.
They digitally de-age Robert De Niro, and he curb stomps
Yeah.
the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah.
And it's so bad because he's doing it with his 90-year-old body.
Right.
So it doesn't look right.
So it's not like American History X style where you're like, whoa.
You've got what's supposed to be a young Robert De Niro trying to F someone up pretty bad. And it's so awkward because of his...
Because he
Stiff.
He
Yeah,
can't,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
stiff. It's like Batman trying to turn with his whole body because he can't move his neck, you know? And that's like, you could have
It's
just left
getting
it.
better though. It's amazing. Like I remember the first moment where I realized that technology could be something that completely changes film. That they can just recreate people who are dead, like Star Wars, like when Princess
Yeah.
Leia in Rogue One.
Yeah.
That shit was
So
pretty crazy.
I watched that in the theater knowing nothing, no spoilers. So that moment when she appeared, I was like, wait, what? How did they do that?
Or Grand Moff Tarkin,
It was
because
just
he was,
amazing. Yeah,
he was
that-
dead at the time.
I was
Yeah.
like, wait, he's
They had to get
alive?
permission from his family, right?
Probably.
I think so.
There is something weird about that.
And you
using
can
a
still
dead
see
person.
it, but it's so
Yeah,
close.
right.
It's so close to being perfect.
But I would totally take that. I think that's such an honor to continue that person's visage through cinema and
No, that's awesome.
long after they're gone.
And taking the technology into the future, it's going to be perfect.
We should just do more
Just
movie
take any
stuff.
any action.
This stuff is wild.
Yeah, it's very yeasty. Yeah, so we'll I know we're a little over
it
our
is.
time, so we'll wrap this up. But this is so Waterford. They sent me a. It's called the Cuvée. It's a very decorative label there. Check that out. Yeah, it's a single malt, all Irish barley, and I think they did something to it. Let me see. Synthesis of single farm origins. Irish bar. I'll have to. I'll put it in the
label,
intro.
maybe?
Yeah, I like it. Was it 100 proof?
It's 100 proof. They do everything they do is 100 proof. It's a single malt whiskey. It's not an Irish whiskey. It's a single malt whiskey. All single farm origins. And they did something unashamedly inspired by the legendary Chateau of France. And I'm trying to find it on the bottle, but it didn't say
Maybe
it.
back label the bottom.
I think it's a finished. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll put it in the intro. Listen, thank you guys so much for doing the show. The Whiskey Social is 1 week away, guys. 1 week away. And if you've never been to a whiskey tasting, and there are plenty of people who haven't, let me tell you this. Uber, there and back. Eat before, which we're going to have food, but eat before. Drink water.
lots of water.
Drink lots of water beforehand. I mean, literally, while you're waiting in line to get checked in, drink 2 bottles of water.
Pee like Chris.
Pee like me. And we've got 3 sets of bathrooms now. The number one contributor to being inebriated, number one, regardless of gender and weight, is hydration. If you have a well-hydrated person, they're less likely to get inebriated faster. We have to cut you off legally if you're inebriated. So, be responsible. Uber, eat, drink, pee, the whole 9 yards. HoustonWhiskeySocial.com or go to Eventbrite. Just Google the Whiskey Social, the Houston Whiskey Social. Google everything you can think of. It'll come up. We're the first full page of Google. So suck it, SEO spam emails I get constantly. Tickets are available for 1 more week, and that's it. So see you guys November 6th at the Citadel in Houston. And without further ado, cheers.
Cheers.
Balcone's first ever year-round bourbon was an inspiration. It all had to work together. A blend of carefully selected ingredients, Texas-sized pot stills, and creative people determined to find the absolute best way to usher a new whiskey along. when you discover how it pairs with a meaningful moment, suddenly the feeling of drinking great whiskey becomes a whole lot more.